Welcome to another episode of the Social Proof Podcast, and I'm clapping my hands for a reason.
Oh my gosh.
If you don't know by now, I am Donnie Wiggins, one of your very favorite business development coaches, and I am here with my partner in crime,
David Shan's entrepreneur. We here, man.
We're in this thing.
We're
in this thing. First of all, we have had so much going on.
So much.
Over the last month or so specifically, just busy.
Yes.
Like in locked in mode. You've been locked in.
Yep.
I've been locked in. We have so many exciting things that have happened over the last 30 days. Anytime we don't do an episode together, people can see us individually, but anytime we don't do an episode together, I get DMs like, what's up? What's going on with Social Proof? Is it over? Is it? Yeah. No, you guys. But we do need to do a better job at pre-planning for our absences. It's just that we weren't aware of our absences until the absences occurred. So we're sorry for
you went out of town. Like, it's just, we're actually building stuff.
We're actually building businesses and things happen in real time. I know I had 2 client events. I had 4 client events, but 2, not necessarily events, 2 clients that I had to fly out to address some major issues with. And then 2 client events. And sometimes things just happen. But this is what happens when you are podcasting as a business and you are running another business outside of that. Like, I'm actually excited that we've been missing each other and like super busy. It sucks that we didn't take a break. It sucks that we couldn't be here together, but we really have stuff going on. However, we want to assure you that we're going to do a better job at like bulk recording a couple of episodes so we don't fall into that problem again.
For sure. And I think we're just in a good season, man, of activity, building. If you are not building something, you probably are online complaining.
Ooh, wait, so we're going there? Are we doing that?
Too early?
I don't know if it's too. Here's the thing.
I saw this thing on Threads. Go for it.
Here's the thing. What you will notice as an entrepreneur is that when you start building things, when you start like your I'm going to try to do something, you'll get a bunch of people who may support you and cheer you on because tries never really result to anything for most people, right? If you say things like, I'm going to try, you'll put up a website, you'll do something, and it never really amounts to anything. So those people will support you. But the moment you have some success, the moment you start operating at a high level that people weren't expecting of you, then you're going to hear so many of the naysayers and the critics come out.
100%.
So many of them will come out.
Man, I was at Invest Fest this weekend, and it was incredible to see that many entrepreneurs, that many business owners, that many billionaires, that many multimillionaires, that many hungry entrepreneurs. And it's just so, I think in terms of delivery of information, I think this was the best one. Now, I didn't get a chance to like see any workshops or anything like that because I spent hours and hours taking pictures and talking to people. So I wanted to go see magic, but as you walk, people are like, I love the podcast, all that kind of stuff, just having conversations, which I absolutely love. So I actually did a live stream. First off, I'm a live streamer. I live stream the whole experience. So
on Twitch?
On YouTube.
Okay,
on YouTube.
That works.
But we were live streaming, and you can literally see it, me just talking and pictures and conversations, which I absolutely love. So that was fun. But it was so funny to see people who weren't even there complain about having it.
Was it funny?
Some of it was funny. Some people are hilarious, but you could tell that they just want to troll. And there's, when someone says something, there's a group of people that just want to comment on the thing that someone else said, just to have their voice heard and be a part.
I think sometimes complaining makes people feel like they're a part of something.
Ah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they get clicked up on all of their negative positions. I did not attend Invest Fest this year for the first time, but I did see the comments. I saw what people were saying, and I didn't think it was funny. I mean, okay,
You
so
gotta find a funny one. There's some funny people. Like some people roast me, and it's fun. It's genuinely funny. I'm like, man, you're a hater, but that was hilarious.
that and I feel what you're saying there, because sometimes some of the comments that I get from people on Instagram, on my YouTube, I literally laugh like, that was clever. Like, I'm gonna screenshot this one because I gotta use this somewhere. Like, that sincerely was clever. But when people are who is it that said you can't even get in the club?
It's just
Is that Chris Brown? You outside talking and you can't even get in.
right. It's so funny too, man. So in Atlanta, and I don't know if y'all live in a city like Atlanta, you can actually go to a club and spend like $75 before you get in. Before you get in, right? So people were saying, yo, it's $200 tickets or $300 to have a party. Well, that's dumb. You get 3 days of value, bring out the whole black culture, but nobody ever attacks the club. Nobody ever attacked, yo, we should ban the club because they charge $20 to park, $30 to get in, $30 drinks. You get a section, it's $1,200. People do that all the time, but nobody says anything about that because nobody's going to back you up because they'll be like, oh, that's stupid. Why would you say that? It's the club. We're just here to have fun. But yo, that was a blend of having fun, education, networking. Keisha Cole performed. You got a chance to see some of the people that you never get to see in person. You got to see them at this gathering. And I think it's the hate that people have, or maybe they don't truly hate like what's happening. They just don't have anything else to do.
Well, I think in order to hate something, you first have to understand it.
That's good.
And I think that many people who spend their time in attack mode, especially like of a conference, of an entrepreneur or something like that they've had no experience with. Now, I'm not talking about people who may have had an experience and they're sharing their negative experience. That's different. But people who didn't really have a valid experience, who are just sitting at home and registering these complaints, you have no level of understanding. Yeah. You don't know what happened behind those walls, right? You don't know why there's a certain strategy in place for why they did this way or why they did that way. But you sit at home and you complain, and it's unfortunate that we connect so much off of hate and negativity.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's entertaining, I suppose, but you can, and for those that are going to build anything, I know that it is impossible. And I don't know, maybe we can have a conversation about this, but it is impossible to help our culture and not get attacked. It's impossible. There's absolutely no way to do it. There's always a segment of people, like even if you're an entrepreneur, your business, you'll either be mad that you weren't on the stage, or you'll be mad maybe you had an interaction with somebody that you didn't like the interaction, and then you're like, yo, I don't like the whole event. But you all have to be prepared for that. I know every single year that something happens with Podcast Summit, or if you do something amazing, you have an episode that goes viral, someone's coming to attack.
1,000%.
Every time.
You
got to expect it. Why don't you like attack me in January? You know what I mean? Like
when
February.
Happening.
Yeah, nothing's going on. Because
going
it doesn't get the views. People don't care. It's not a lot of likes.
Yeah.
So I understand that. And it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
But also sometimes we can just keep our mouths shut. To your point, you said that we can't do something big for the culture without getting attacked. And I'm just thinking about that because initially I wanted to disagree. But I'm thinking about the people who have done something big for the culture. And I can't think of one who is unscathed. I can't think of one. I know I saw a lot of comments regarding InvestFest. And again, I did not attend, but I do see the comments. And I saw people talking about trying to calculate how much money they must have made, right? How much money they must have made with about 25,000 people in the room, and going back and calculating the cost of tickets and the cost of vendor booths and all these things. And I understand that's a natural response for people who have lack mindsets.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
However, even if, and I'm not saying that it is, but even if Troy and Rashad decided to put on InvestFest every single year just to make money, right? Is this year 3 or 4?
It's 5.
This is year 5? Okay. So even if for the last 5 years, they only wanted to do this to make money, part of that business plan has to be, how do we put value in front of people so that we can continue to make money?
Yeah.
People say the same thing about our My First Million conference. They said it about Podcast Summit. Even if our only goal, was selfishly just to make money, we can't just show up to an empty Congress Center with no value.
Right.
Right? There still has to be logistics and planning and strategy and structure on the back end. You might be in it for the money, but the attendees and the people who came were in it for the value.
Yeah.
Why does it matter what their goal was? Even if they only wanted to make money, did you get value?
Yeah.
Were there vendors in that vendor marketplace who made money? Right? I saw some people who were vendors who commented, and this happened last year too, who said, I invested all that money and didn't make any sales at InvestFest. But then I started going through like their social media, and I'm looking at their stories, and I'm going through their page, and I'm noticing that they didn't maximize their time at InvestFest. They couldn't have been at their booth because I'm seeing all the fan pictures that they were taking. So is it surprising that your vendor booth didn't make any money when you were not there as a business owner? You were there as a fan of all the people that you saw walking around. And instead of being at your table, you let your little cousin sit there and watch your inventory while you were walking the halls trying to get all of the VIP pictures. We have to make this make sense.
We've got to make it make sense, bro.
We have to make this make sense.
Yeah, it's so funny too, because they'll say, all right, well, it's a celebrity party and all that kind of stuff. But I can go to a concert and sing along with songs, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's not one educational component to this concert.
Chance.
I'm not going to even be able to meet nobody because we're like just singing together.
I think my tickets to Beyonce's concert, I got subpar floor seats. Subpar. The part of the floor that's all the way in the back, so you can't see if you don't stand up the whole time. I think I spent $2,500 on those tickets to sing the same songs that I have saved on an iCloud playlist. I can go in my phone and sing these songs. The information, the value is already there. But I want to be in the room, and I want to feel the energy. And Beyonce didn't perform a new song. There was no debut of a brand new album. We saw her same kids. We saw the same outfits that we saw on the Shade Room in Hollywood Unlocked, concert after concert after concert. And here's the thing, Kay. I bought my ticket for Atlanta like 2 weeks before. So I've seen the whole concert all over social media. I've seen the whole concert all over the internet. But I still invested my money. I didn't feel like I didn't get my money's worth.
It's who we are. Yo, this person, I saw this on Threads. This was so dope and well put. Crystal.Moore85. So she put Essence Fest, heavy criticism all around. Martha's Vineyard, criticized for being elitist. Women Evolve, criticized for taking an offer to cover costs. InvestFest, scrutinized over execution and delivery of value. CBC and Afrotech, good luck.
Okay. First of all, Martha's Vineyard is for the elite. So, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the wildest thing,
you
bro.
don't yet belong in the room if that's how you feel. Martha's Vineyard is for the elite. That's like going to the Hamptons and being upset that they don't invite you to their cookout. They probably don't do cookouts in the Hamptons. You know what? Right. Like, not the way you're thinking anyway. It's different. It's different. And when we're criticizing, again, it's people who really just don't understand. And I'm not talking to people who actually had an experience. You get there and something's not ready for you. You're fighting over seats. That's different, right? But the truth is, those things probably didn't happen. You are just looking from the outside in, or your favorite influencer walked past and you didn't get a picture, or something happened and you didn't maximize the value. And because I've attended InvestFest, if this was year 5, that means I've attended for 4 years, right? I know how it goes. You said it at the beginning of this episode. You spent all of your time taking pictures. Whenever I am at InvestFest, I spend 100% of my time taking pictures. So if somebody asked me, well, what value did you get from it? I wouldn't have been able to answer that question. Like, you know, the value that I got was the connections with my community. That would be the only value for me, because I am a person, when I'm in rooms like that, I understand that people have purchased tickets to see some of their favorite entrepreneurs. This might be their only time that they get to be in a room with this many people. And you know, I'm going to take every single last picture. I'm going to take all the pictures. I'm going to listen to all the stories. And that's what I get. But if on the other side, you are the person who bought a ticket and you need value, you need to take notes. You have a decision to make. Am I going to be in the hallways looking for who might pass by, or am I going to be seated and going to these workshops?
100%.
So many people treat these events like a party.
Yeah.
Right? It's the party. You want to be at the party. You want to be at all the VIP events, and that thing is that's fine. But if you know that you need value, you're in a season where you need a word poured into you, you need to be sitting down.
100%. And the good news is they just keep going. They just don't even see it. They just keep going.
You're going to keep going.
Because I think they figured out, and I think we've all figured, well, not all of us, but I think we've figured out that the people who have something negative to say aren't our customer or our market anyway. Like if you have something negative to say, you're just gonna say something negative, and you're not my audience anyway. So why am I so concerned about what you have to say? We just have to keep going. So I saw some stuff about around I don't know. It's impossible to build a big brand and people don't say anything. It sucks, and it sucks to see so many people build their name and their clout around attacking other people for no other reason than I think I can get some views from it, which is, you know, okay, now we can go into the lesson, I suppose, of entrepreneurship is not being distracted by distractions.
Yeah, not allowing negativity to keep you from being great. Yeah, because you're going to get it. And I want you to think about it like maybe you're not an entrepreneur yet who's experienced these online attacks. I have to be totally honest with you guys. The first time I was attacked online, I was completely caught off guard. Completely. And I'm in the comments going, "Ham, what?" I'm defending everything. David had to tell me to stop, right? Because I know what you're saying is not who I am. I know what you're accusing me of is so far-fetched of anything that I've ever done. And I am used to being, and this is just a transparent moment, I have been building business on social media since around 2010, somewhere around there, 2009, 2010. And I'm used to being a light, seen as a light, a source of inspiration, helping people, creating impact. So the first time I was attacked online, it caught me so off guard. And this was really when I decided to join Social Proof Podcast. People are going, "Ham, I don't like her for the podcast. Dave should just do it by herself. She doesn't know anything." Y'all had to know that wasn't true. You know, and I'm responding to the comments to the point where I came to Dave and I said, "You started this without me. I don't want to damage your brand. I don't have to do this. I'm not going to do this anymore." And Dave said, "Nah, we're going to do it, and we're going to go even harder. People are going to calm down. They're going to do whatever." But that was my first time being attacked. Imagine I've been building business on social in front of people since 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. And then here we are in 2020. So I've gone 10, 11 years without people really attacking me. Of course, people said something negative, but this was dozens of comments, every video, just the hate. And I couldn't understand it because all I was doing was sitting in front of a camera giving you my perspective about business. That at that time, I used to always say, you don't have to agree with this. This is just my perspective. If all I am doing is trying to help, why are you attacking me? I couldn't understand it. But what I do understand now is that your greatness acts as a mirror to other people. It holds up a mirror to them. Here's this relatable woman who's coming around, who is honest about her struggles.
Yeah.
She's not putting on airs. She doesn't have to be seen in a certain light. She can come with makeup on, without makeup on. Wow, she's really relatable.
Yeah.
Wait, she struggled just like me? She had to overcome foreclosure and bankruptcy and repossessions just like me? Yeah. And you mean to tell me she's building something big and I'm just sitting here still basking in my excuses? Oh, let me hate her.
Yeah.
Because her success is evidence that I can be successful too, but I'm not ready to take that journey.
Yeah.
So let me instead hate her.
100%. And I think we've been taught, I think we're more comfortable jumping on people's bandwagons. But what I'm starting to just get into my own spirit is that I will continue to love the people that hate me. And I can say that because I am so glad and I'm so blessed that
there's
I'm
a
not
couple
them.
of people, Dave, that hate me that I have no love
Yeah,
for.
but I think about it. Even what we were talking about before this, I hope that person figures out all of that stuff, because there's a certain level of being miserable that you're going through right now.
1,000%.
And I can only be blessed that we don't have to trade shoes.
That's
I am so blessed that I'm to a point now where just because someone attacks me, I don't feel the need to attack them. I'm so blessed that I'm not in your shoes. Mm-hmm. So that is what I'm grateful for, and I feel sorry for those. I feel sorry for someone who makes it their point to tear other people down because they can't build something themselves. There's something going on mentally with them.
There's
and
some
we don't
pain.
There's some pain. There's some trauma that
mm-hmm.
they've been through. There's something in their life that makes them despise. I was talking to my friend, and he has a Lambo, and someone came across with, I don't know, it was a screwdriver or something, and then hit his window twice for no other reason that's a Lambo. Something in his heart says, I am going to destroy what they have. I don't even know the person didn't even, he says a random person that walked by and he could see the cameras, and they just hit his window, and it didn't shatter the whole thing, but you could see those marks, and they just walked away. Mm-hmm. It has to be horrible to be that person.
It has to be
horrible. To walk
horrible.
around life like that?
I remember in maybe 2012, I was a part of a network marketing company, and there was a young lady that I admired so much, right, from afar. But when I joined this company and I had an opportunity to meet her, I was so disappointed with the person that I realized she was, right? And I walked around harboring these negative emotions because I was a fan from a distance. Yeah. Now I get this proximity to be in your space, and I'm so disappointed by who you are backstage. Yeah. And I'm walking around feeling like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is terrible. I would never want to be like this person, harboring these emotions. And then I got to really learn this person's story and all of the traumatic experiences they had gone through at the hands of people who should have been loving them, right? At parents and uncles and aunties and friends and all the things. And it was that year that I realized you have to have a total story before you can make a decision about how you really feel about somebody. And the truth is, we don't have everybody's total story. It's just this person decided to share their story. And when they shared their story, I received them with empathy. And then as the years have gone by, people always have something really, really negative to say about this person. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to know her story. Like, I give grace. It's not right. It's not excusable, but some empathy and some grace can be applied there. Like, I now understand that this person is the way that they are because of a life that I'll never be able to relate to. Like, something miserable and tragic and traumatic actually did happen. And this person is living in their toughness because of that. They're living in their pain every single day, and that's how they present, because it was the protection mechanism that they had to use back then when nobody was advocating for them. So now that they're in positions of leadership and they're growing and they're building and doing things, I just have a certain level of empathy. Like, wow, I know it. I can't be in your circle because I couldn't stand for that type of treatment and what I perceive to be like abusive, you know. I can't be in your circle, but I understand now, and I no longer harbor these negative emotions towards you.
I heard a quote of something that said, talking about someone like negative, essentially, we are exactly who they would be if we had to live their life. Like if you walk by somebody homeless and you're like, man, you need to get yourself together, right? We are exactly who they would be if we had to live their life, because we didn't get a chance to pick our brains. We didn't get a chance to pick our experiences. Like we're not, all the things that happened in my life, me and my cousin, we were selling weed together. Neither one of us are really, really good at it. But something happened to where my mom called me and said, you got accepted to go to college for, at Alabama A&M. I don't even remember filling out the application. That was the one application that I filled out because they happened to be in the office that day. And the only reason I came to the office that day was I think I came up with some reason. I was in the hallway senior year, the guy is there. He said, hey, come fill out this application for college. I was like, I don't want to go. The front desk lady says, hey, you should fill that out. I'm like, all right, cool. It wasn't hard, just name, address,
Basic at that time.
Basic information. I go back to New Jersey and I start selling weed with my cousin. And my mom calls one day and she says, hey, you got accepted to college. I was like, I didn't even apply. She said, yes, you did. I said, you talking about, what school is that? I didn't know the name. I'm telling you, I have no recollection of it. And she's like, yo, you got to come home. I said, I don't want to come home. She said, well, you're coming home because you're going to college. And I went to college. My point is, fast forward, unfortunately, my cousin wound up moving to another side of town and he got more heavier into the game. And again, unfortunately, maybe, made mad the wrong people or so, I don't know, but he was murdered. The only reason I'm not right by his side and I'm not in a casket today is because for some reason that I did not plan, I was in the office that day. And for some reason, there's a guy here, the one application that I filled out to go to college. And if the front desk lady, the receptionist lady didn't say, man, just fill it out. If she was a different person that didn't care. If my mom didn't have this strong feeling about the fact that nobody in our family went to college, her, my dad, my brother, and she didn't want me to be the first person. She said, you're going to be the first person to go to college. I'm like, Mom, you can still go back. You could be the first. It's
that
cool.
can be your story.
She said, no, you're coming home. If nobody in my family, if nobody in my family went to college and she didn't want me to be the first so bad and she didn't already get the ticket, how could I have orchestrated all of that happening so that I can get out of that environment and in a billion other things that happened in my life that led me to be right here? I am not genius enough or have the vision enough to have orchestrated all the things that happened.
Yeah.
I could just as easily be the person at home that's hating on me for no reason if I had to live how they lived or their experiences or the environment they came up with, or they were born with the brain that they have. I feel sorry for those people.
I've hated on somebody for no reason before. So I know exactly.
Past trauma.
Past trauma, no. and when I think about, I snapped out of it quickly because I became because of my journey and my steps. If I had not met my mentor, if I had not learned what personal development was, if I had not read books on how to confront my triggers and my childhood trauma, I would still be that person that's sitting at home hating on people, right? But I can remember specifically somebody that I hated on so bad for no reason. I was also at the lowest point of my life, right? I was also at the lowest point of my life after having achieved a pretty significant level of success. I'd had the success. I lost everything. I'm now at the lowest point of my life, and I see this other person blossoming, right in my face. I see this other person blossoming. I didn't know this person, but this is somebody that I followed on social media, and I see them blossoming, and everything is taking off for them while I'm losing everything, and everything is crumbling for me on the back end. And when I started being plugged into mentorship and personal development, and then years later into therapy, this person has always stayed on my mind because I got an opportunity to meet them and I didn't take it. Like, I sat in the back, like, I'm cool. One of those things. And I realize now that it was a missed opportunity, a missed opportunity to build a relationship with someone who could have been pivotal in my journey. But I realize now that the only reason I was hating on her is because she represented everything that I didn't have. And the Donnie Wiggins that I am today, I couldn't stand myself if I hated on somebody just for having what I don't have. I couldn't walk around living my life in that way. And so now whenever I see myself, I will unfollow an account before I just like start hating on somebody, right? If I'm going through something, because we go through something, it's natural, and you have negative emotions and you see things that that will put you in a situation where you're experiencing the shiny new toy syndrome, like, oh, what they're doing over there looks great. Maybe what I'm doing over here isn't so impactful. Let me try that. You have to plug out of those things. I also went through a season where I just unfollowed all of this hate. Like, there was a time where all the Shade Room posted was just drama and hate and fighting and girls against each other and all the things. You can go to my Instagram right now. I don't follow any accounts like that. I'm not following any of the reality TV shows because that's what, even if that's not what the intent is, that's the clips that are being shown, right? One woman against the other woman, one man against the other man. And in order to protect my mindset and to keep me from being that person, I had to cut all of that out. So I tell my friends now, like, I don't want to hear the gossip. My friends will tell you now, Ernestine says it all the time. Nope, I know Donnie didn't do that because she ain't a part of those kind of conversations. I just don't plug into anything that's not directly about me. If my friends come to me with something, or if anybody comes to me with something, if it's them sharing their experience in a situation, then I can listen to that and I can give you some counseling on that. But if you're bringing me somebody else's business that doesn't have anything to do with them in a negative way to like destroy them, I'm checked out of that, because I know that there was a version of me years ago that had the ability to be at home miserable and hating on somebody for no reason. And it wasn't for no reason. It was for a reason. The reason was because they were doing something that at that time I felt like I couldn't but wanted to.
Yeah. And I think it takes so much energy to hate on that, but you can just take that energy and go build that.
Just go build it.
You know what I mean? So there's somebody that is watching this and they find themselves just always in the comments, always joining the hate party. And actually, just before this, I had to block somebody that I had a lot of respect for. Like, that, like, reach out to me like, yo, how can we do this and do that? Because they commented on a post that someone made about me.
Hating on you.
Yeah. So you hit child? One of them? You
Yeah.
do one of them? Oh, okay. I'll just block you. I don't care how much respect I have for you, but you're showing me who you are. It's easier to just block and go about my day than go reach out. Hey, what'd you mean by that, bro? I got too much to do. I don't think I've ever had someone more successful than me hating and attacking for no reason. And I say success in so many different areas. I've been married 7 years. I never met somebody married for 20 years that's negatively talking about my relationship online. It's all people who can't find a man, period. Or you can't find someone to like you, period. And you say, oh, see how he treat you? Oh my gosh, he's walking and she's behind him, just following him. Like, what?
Do you get that?
Do I?
Oh, I've never seen those comments.
What?
No.
Absolutely. So I made it was a post about how I proposed to my wife. Very lackluster. Okay? Very lackluster. I met my wife on Tinder. 6 months later, we were leaving my friend's house. And I was like, "You want to get married?" She's like, "What? Are you serious?" He starts crying a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly the tone. Yeah, you want to get married? She's like, yes. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll go to the mall tomorrow and get a ring. Very, very unromantic, okay?
This was very not romantic.
It
but
wasn't. That was 7 years and 3 kids later. beautiful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But when I made that post, there were people saying, "Oh, so inconsiderate. Oh, are you not married? Okay, cool. Oh, are you making posts about, somebody said something to you in the club? Oh yeah, of course you did. None of there wasn't some 15-year, 20-year, 30-year relationship saying, oh, you should have did it differently. They all like, oh, cool. I put more energy into the marriage than the proposal.
Like, why are people romanticizing what your relationship should be?
It's my relationship.
It's your relationship.
I can see if my wife wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But ask her. She says it all the time. Oh my gosh, you're the man of my dreams.
She does say that.
She don't say it like that.
She
with that
does.
Tone. But oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever happened to me.
I
mean, look, you wait for somebody to fly across the ocean and have red petals to say I love you you wait for that. I was like, you want to get married? You with it?
Listen, there are people who would be happy if they were driving by the courthouse and some guy said, you want to pull over and go get married real quick? There are people who will be happy with that. And I think if we just stop putting our expectations of what we would want or what we would require. Yep. And the truth is, people have these expectations like, I'll only date somebody who takes me to a 5-star restaurant the first time. I saw y'all in the Cheesecake Factory. That really happened. Like, I really saw somebody in the Cheesecake Factory. I really know someone who is online and they are an advocate for relationships, right? And they tell you what you should and should not tolerate in relationships. I know plenty of these people, but I'm speaking of one person in particular who goes so hard. Absolutely not. Don't accept that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I know what your relationship is like. I know that you hate this man, but you're afraid to let it go because you won't have any man. And so everything you're saying online, when I see the post, is one of those like, I know you in real life.
You talking.
And this is crazy to me, right? People judge you from a place of lack. And then you guys like, there are things that I would like to happen. There are things that I would like to happen. But there are, like somebody said, I was doing a Tonight's Conversation episode a couple of weeks ago here in Atlanta. And one of the young ladies who came to the mic to ask a question, and yes, those questions are real, by the way. One of the women who came to the mic to ask a question had been divorced for 20 years. Older woman, she'd been divorced for 20 years, and she's still hooked on this man who has since been married like 4 or 5 times since her, right? Or with 4 or 5 different women, and now he's married, something like that. And she was looking really it was 2 women, and I spoke generally to the crowd. Both of them were kind of stuck on these guys who were never going to be for them. And I said, hey, tell me a little bit about how you spend your free time. And they're like, oh, I'm homebodies. And I said, I understand what you're going through, because in a season where I really wanted to be in a relationship but stayed single for years, I had to check myself. Donnie, you're not single because you're not attractive, you're not smart, you're not worthy. You don't get out of the house. You be inside. You are never outside. And on top of that, there is no delivery man that can even access your front door to find them. Like they'll say, he's not gonna come knocking on your door. Where I live, he won't be coming to knock on my door, right? So I had to intentionally get outside, and it was miserable. Like, I hated going outside. You feel like you're going outside specifically to meet somebody. Like, I had to get on the apps, I had to go outside, and I'm telling this story. I'm like, I was you. For like 2 years, I was just focused, and I'm not going outside. And when I'm going to conferences, I'm like laser focused. I'm not looking at these men like that. I'm here to do business, right? And so I'm telling them, but the moment I went outside intentionally, like got dressed, took off the sweats and got dressed, put on a little makeup and felt good, I don't have a problem meeting men. You know that.
Never.
I don't have a single problem.
Everywhere. Y'all have to see it. It's the most amazing thing. I've never seen someone get that much attention. Just every single place we go.
Okay. All right. The point is.
No, I'm at a Best Fest. Where's Donnie? I don't know. She's at home. She's so fine. Oh my gosh. Someone said, man, I was in the bathroom.
No way.
I was in the bathroom. I'm washing my hands. Guy in there, he's washing his hands. He walks out, man. yo, man, where's Donnie, man? Like, I want to marry that girl, bro. Why are you telling me this? I've never even met her. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So there is no problem. I am a person that if I get outside, I'll be in a relationship 2 weeks later. Okay. That like, yeah, they just don't know my life. Right. So I'm telling them like, just get outside. And I'm like, they're like, well, where do I go? Who do I go with? And I'm like, well, just start on the apps. I want you to just start getting your reps in. I want you, the whole crowd was like, no, don't get on the apps. It's the worst thing you could do. Well, I've been on the apps. And I went on a couple of dates. I didn't end up in a relationship with anybody from the apps, but I approached it differently. My goal with the apps was I've been sitting in the house for like 2 years. I don't really talk to anybody on a romantic level for real. Like I had played with a couple of people, like just engaging in conversation that was never going to go anywhere, right? And because that's what felt safe to me. So I needed to put myself in a situation where I am just conversing and having conversations and going through like what I like, what I don't like, what kind of personalities I like, what I don't like, what kind of approach I like and what I don't like, right? But there was a version of me that before that was saying, oh, I'll never date from an app. I'll never do that. And I'm looking at people who date on apps. Like I remember my best friend stayed on the app and I used to be like, girl, ugh. Like that don't make you feel desperate. You know, like that was me. And she met the most amazing husband on Facebook dating app. Wow. You met the most amazing wife on Tinder. And I have met some incredible people on all of them, all the apps. I done met some incredible people. It didn't go anywhere because I still didn't get outside. I'm telling them, I just want you to get your reps in and start to, like, you 20 years and you're still fixated on this man, 5 years and you're still fixated on this man. I just want you to get some reps in and determine what you like. And that's what I did on those apps. And that's how I was able to go through and now go outside and have real experiences because I know the type of man that I like, but I make sure to have like a framework for what I would like to see happen. But I'm not so strict to the expectation because I'm sure when you thought about getting married, you didn't expect to meet your wife on a dating app, right? I didn't expect to meet anybody on a dating app. I didn't expect to be single at this age. I didn't expect for certain things to happen. I didn't expect to be in business now for 15 or so years and not be a billionaire. Like I expected billionaire. I expected marriage. I expected the fairy tale of how everything's going to happen. Of course you want to be wined and dined. Yeah. Of course you want somebody to have the rose petals laid out for you. Of course you want a man who can take you on a private jet and all those things. But here's the reality. That doesn't happen for most people. Yeah. And I'm not suggesting that you settle for less than what you feel like you deserve. I'm not telling you to go out there and take the man who gives no effort. And I hear this about me so much, Shans. This is one of the things that gets under my skin with the hate on the internet, because in some way somebody has fabricated a clip, because I've never said it. Yeah. But people always say, I get all the time. Somebody just recently tagged me in a clip that said, this is why I can't stand Donnie Wiggins, because she has to have a man who's 6'4", who makes over six figures and all the things before she'll even talk to them. She would never give any attention to a man like me. I got a whole clip with hundreds of millions of views where I'm telling a man, like, this is all you feel like you're worth is your height. You feel like your value is in your height, that the fact that you're 6'4", and you think making six figures is enough to make you attractive to somebody else. A whole clip where I'm saying, like, how terrible it must be for a man to feel like that's his whole value. A whole clip.
Yo, but you know what? If he was in a happy relationship, that thought would never come into his mind.
It would never.
He's not worried about like what your preferences. He's just mad that he doesn't have what you want.
And sir, even if he was 6'4",
just go get the knee surgery, bro.
With $100,000.
Wear tall shoes.
It wouldn't register. But people will paint these narratives. And so I get it now because I'm in that seat. I got people who say I'm a gold digger. Where? Show me the gold. Show me the gold from which I dug. Okay? Because I'm missing it. Is it in a trust? Is it in a safety deposit box? Is it somewhere where I can't access it? Did somebody secretly put it aside for me? Like, people will put these narratives on you. They will tell you you're single because, you're successful because. Early in my career, it had to be, when I was in network marketing and successful, I got accused of, it had to be because of guys that I dated. Who? Who? Show me the man that put me in position.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Come on.
Early in my career, it had to be that. Then when it clearly wasn't that, it had to be because of this. Oh, because she's always done up. She's pretty. She's da-da-da. I'll take all the makeup off. I'll wear my hair in the bun. None of this is the reason. You have to just be comfortable knowing that you're talented and you're qualified and you're capable and you're leading with a good heart and you really have great intentions. And the fact of the matter is, I am impactful. Yeah. God chose me to be this person and to have this. So when I see the attacks and all the things online, it's just like, it's just a part of being great.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is let's not have wasted energy on things and people that don't matter to you. You know, like I don't even matter. If someone attacks me, my life, it doesn't even matter to you. Mm-mm. So I was in the gym yesterday and I was talking to Darius and they were talking about like alcohol. I was like, you drink? He said, no, not really. And
Pastor Darius? Pastor Darius?
Nah.
I was going to say, you asked Pastor Darius if he drinks?
Nah, Darius
crazy.
Nah, shout out to my God. But I didn't know, and Coach Jones was explaining, I was like, well, why is alcohol so bad for your fitness journey? And what he was saying was, it's just empty calories. Mm-hmm. There's literally no benefit at all. It's just empty calories. When you drink it, it make you feel a certain way, but those calories are going to stick on you, and there's no nutritional value. And I think it's the same way with attacking people who don't affect your life in any way. It may make you feel good because you're expressing yourself, but there's no benefit to you. Why don't you just spend the time doing something else? Why don't you spend the time building something? You don't attack somebody unless they have something that other people are going to jump on the bandwagon for. I'm just saying, there's so much in it, bro. I have so many people blocked because if you say something negative, I just block you. Or if I see you support someone negative that's coming at me, I block you too. Mm-hmm. Saw this young lady that I blocked years ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and she came out. I was like, hey, I don't mess with you.
You said that?
Yeah, just like that. Now you know I don't mess with you. She said, what'd I do? I said, I made a post about something, and you was going ham, attacking me, and I thought it was cool, so I just blocked you. I just don't want to see it anymore. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Since the day that I blocked her, I never even thought about her. I didn't have to see anything that like brings up like additional feelings. And she said, yo, you know what? I do get beside myself sometime and I apologize. And I said, this is a really good start. I'm still going to keep you blocked, but the next time I see you, we are starting to rebuild this relationship. Mm-hmm. But the point is, I'm so focused on where I'm at. If you do something crazy, I just don't need you in my life at all. I don't want wasted calories. I don't want wasted energy on anything. Mm-hmm. No, it just doesn't benefit me. It doesn't even benefit me to like re-go back at people who come at me. I want to get this hack, and I'll pass it to you, Donnie. It's so cool too. So every year during Podcast Summit, someone has something to say. Someone has, something they want to post about because the eyes are there, which I'm starting to welcome it though, because what happens is we run ads. And when someone attacks me, there's people in your audience who have no idea who I am. So maybe they don't like me because of something that you said, but then you come to my page. And eventually you may see something you like, or maybe you don't see nothing you like, or you're just going like to see some stuff you can hate on, which is cool. But that pixel got you. And there are some people who have made purchases because after you said what you said, they forgot who I was and saw an ad for this amazing conference and they buy the tickets. And I've had people come up to me like, yo, I didn't like you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, what did I do? She's like, I don't really remember. I just know that I saw something and I didn't like it. But this conference was amazing. Thank you. Hey, so next year, Podcast Summit 2026, I welcome all the hate. Just do it early enough so that the pixel can grab these people so we can start retargeting them so we can get these tickets sold.
I remember being at Podcast Summit and this year, and I mentioned, like I was telling the journey about building a 7-figure podcast or a business through podcasting. And I said a lot, and I'm telling them to keep going, encouraging them. I'm like, a lot of people in this room right now were on that bandwagon of hating Donnie because I was new, I was different, I was fresh. You weren't used to me, and somebody on the front row raised her hand, and I won't say her name, but she was like, I was leading the hate. But this is a person who now I've coached and I've mentored. She's learned from me. We have a great vibe. Every time we see each other, it's always love. And in that moment, it's like people will hate on you until they have access to you.
Yeah.
Then when they get access to you and they see your value, the perspective can change.
Yeah.
To your point about the alcohol, my friend Maya Elias, we'll go to dinner, or when we were going to dinner, I would, the waiter would come by and say, hey, are you guys having a drink? Mm-hmm. And we look at each other. I'd look and I'm like, are you having a drink? And she's like, no, I'd rather eat my calories. I'd rather eat my calories. And one day I asked her what she meant by that, and she said, well, alcohol has no benefit. It's just empty calories. I don't want to drink all these calories. Like, I could have one drink that's 1,400 calories, or I could have a delicious meal that's going to last me, that I actually want to eat, that's actually going to give me nutritious value for far less calories. I don't want empty calories. I'd rather eat my calories. Yeah. And so when you are in a position where there's a lot of distraction, whether it's negativity or the hate online or people telling you what you can and can't do, these are all extra calories that are trying to infiltrate your system that's going to weigh you down.
100%.
It's going to weigh you down. You have the option to drink your calories that bring you no nutritious value, or you can say, I'll pass on giving this my attention. I'm only going to focus on the calories that I can actually eat, 100%. The calories that I'm actually choosing, the calories that I'm actually subscribed to, the calories that are actually going to nourish me. This is where I am going to focus my energy. And you have to make that decision for yourself.
You got to. Where are you spending your energy? Where are you spending your time? Even those micro moments throughout the day, where are you spending your time and your energy? So I was just talking to Jay, and he's building something really, really special. And I'm joking, of course, but I think there's a principle to it. But we were talking about this thing that we're building, and Jay was talking about the hot seat, right? The hot seat where I was telling the guy about his food truck. And Jay came in. Well, I came in the office, and he was like, yo, I got it. He was like, yo, we could build out this app for food trucks to let them know where to be at and things of that nature. He's like, look, I built it out on ChatGPT. Now he said it took 5 minutes or whatever. But that, and I've been roasting him ever since. Bro, what happened to the other idea? Why did we pivot to this? And if we let it go long enough, you start building something else out, and then in another week there's another idea, and there's another idea. My point is, it wasn't the 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes of wasted energy could have led to something else that wastes more time. We could and what was the next thing I said? Okay, well, where's the PDF or the outline of the services that you're actually working on? Guess what his answer was? I don't have it yet.
I don't have it yet.
Why didn't we just spend that same time? I mean, we could have went straight to ChatGPT. We could have, and we sat there for another 5 minutes and structured. He said, "Oh, boop, 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 got this, cool." We were distracted for a moment that took us off path of something else we can be doing. We have to start counting our minutes, y'all. Yeah. Every day, we get to make decisions, and I think we're simply making the wrong decisions to put our energy on things that don't matter, and we just get frustrated. And we end up missing out sometimes, or we end up allowing other people to beat us to our ideas, and then we're sitting in the back hating on them. Come on, well, let me tell you something real quick before we go. So Alex Hormozy just did this $105 million launch, book launch that I was so inspired by. Oh my gosh. And there were people who were hating on that for so many different reasons. And I maybe get into it, maybe not. I don't know how long we've been talking right now, but one of the things that stood out for me, I didn't get to see the launch in real time. I planned to, but I was on a flight, and Delta count your days because I didn't have Wi-Fi on a flight to Vegas, yo. And it was the long 4 hours.
It was a 4.5 hour joint. No Wi-Fi. I'm in a spiral right now, and I wasn't in first class. Okay, I am spiraling. So I missed this, but I go back because he made this he broke records. Like his book launch outperformed the Harry Potter franchise. He outperformed what Harry Potter franchise did in 30 days. He 3x that result in 24 hours. Okay. And so I'm looking, well, what did he sell? Like, what is he doing? And he sold his books, obviously, but when you went to a higher package, you got all these playbooks. And Shans, when I tell you, it sent a sensation through my spine. Because look at what I create. All I create are playbooks.
You got mad playbooks.
I got mad playbooks, right?
Golly.
We even got a social proof playbook.
I see the social proof playbook.
I got playbook after playbook.
Some familiar names
don't
in here?
do that.
I'm not going to say the thing, but
I got playbook after playbook after playbook after playbook, and I said, "You mean to tell me this whole time I could have been selling these playbooks?"
First off, you got clients out here.
You
got clients. I actually want to see my name in there, like the David Shans playbook. Let me see that playbook.
I have playbook after playbook, and this isn't even it. This is just me searching it that way. Some of them we've renamed, but like this is your playbook. And I'm thinking like my goal was to create these playbooks that, so when I get a client.
You have my playbook in there though? I mean.
For David Shans?
Yeah, but I don't know if you just sit around like come up with playbooks.
I do, is the thing. Like I'll reverse engineer somebody's business, right? And I'll create a playbook for that business model. I know that we've talked about launches. I got a social proof playbook for stuff that we've talked about, conferences that we've done, the school that we were doing. I've got playbook after playbook after playbook. And I create them for fun. And at one point I said, I could really package these up and put them into an offer. But then I said, would people want to buy that? Alex Hermosi, thank you. Thank you. And I had to show you on this episode so you can see that I've been doing this for years, because guess who's about to start selling my playbooks? I'm going to start marketing these playbooks because, you know, I know some stuff. Yeah. I know how to help people accomplish some goals and get things done. And instead of hating and saying, dang it, he beat me to selling playbooks, I immediately sat up straight and said, oh my God. He has unlocked a whole new level of inspiration for me. Like what he did literally shattered any glass ceiling that was above me. And it should have done that for so many people. Every entrepreneur, whether you own a brick and mortar or a physical product or a digital product, should be studying everything you can about this launch. Just watch it. You don't have to be watching it from the perspective of taking him up on his upsell. You should be studying the psychology and the strategy behind what he did. I went and reverse engineered the whole thing. I'm sharing it inside of my community. I went and reverse engineered the whole thing because I was so determined to reverse engineer this launch. You know, I believe in manifestation, right? On my way back from Vegas, every chance I get, I was working a trade show. Every chance I got, every little break, I'm like going through the launch. I'm on my phone looking at stuff because I don't want to get too far behind. Because what do you mean you just spent 7 hours on a live and you come in right back the next day to do another 4 to 6 hours? What do you mean, Alex? Slow down. Give me time to break this stuff down and understand. So every moment I get, I'm trying to document stuff. Like, look, I have a whole, I'm going to show you this. I have a whole like Trello board where I went through and copied all of my thoughts about everything that he's done so far in this launch. I'm not logged in. I don't remember the password. But I went through and like everything that I saw, okay, he probably posted this type of content, or he got 4 content pillars that he chose that I went through. He chose these 4 and I know why. And I'm documenting my thoughts on the whole thing, right? Reverse engineering this model because I have a lot of clients who do live launches and webinars. I'm about to teach you how to do this. We're not going to go for $105 million, but can we 3X what you're currently doing? So I'm like determined to go through this. I get on the plane. You know, I booked my flights last minute. I booked my flight home to Atlanta like the day before real quick while I'm at this trade show, just trying to make it happen. And I'm boarding the plane. And I say, all the flights were sold out because everybody's coming home from this trade show. So I'm like, where am I sitting? As I'm on the jet bridge about to step onto the plane, where am I sitting? 20B. Oh my God. Ew. How did I book a middle seat?
Ew, not the B.
All I was concerned with was at least getting comfort because first class is sold out. So I said B. So I step off the plane. Like I'm about to get on. I step back and go into the side where they put the luggage that they have to check. And I'm on Delta app. Like, it got to be another flight. It has to be another flight. I asked the flight attendant, is this a full flight? She said, yes, oversold. So I'm like, it has to be another flight. I look for the next 2 days. There are no additional flights with seats that are not middle seats. So I'm like, dang. Let me just go ahead and take this L. Like, I'm attitude poor, like, middle seat. And this is another 4.5 hour flight. So I put my earphones, my AirPods in, and I'm waiting for this lady in front of me to get settled to go on her seat. And she happens to be on my row. She's got the window seat. And I sit next to her. She pulls out her computer. I pull out my computer. We're both getting some work done. I got my earphones on. And I'm annoyed. Like, all I can think about, all I'm taking in are my empty calories. The fact that I'm in this middle seat, it's 4.5 hours, somebody's on both sides of me, and I don't really do no talking on the plane. So I got my earphones on, and this lady laughs out loud in a way that startled me because we were quiet, and I look, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's laughing, and I don't know what's going on. I got my earphones on. A few minutes later, she does it again, and I looked at her, and not in a rude way, but just like a what's going on way, because I don't know what's going on. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to startle you. I received a funny message in the Slack from one of my team members. Look. And she shows me this meme of Patrick from SpongeBob, and it's like a meme of him being dizzy or whatever. And I was like, oh.
All right.
I said, guess you have to kind of be there. They're in a Slack channel.
Right.
And she's like, oh, you wouldn't understand. You do have to be there. I just recently, she's like, we've been so busy this week with this book launch. Like, it's just, we've been busy and it's been high level stress, and we're at the final hour now, just on the back end doing fulfillment. And he sent me this in response to like an urgent need that I had. And I said, oh, I get it. In fact, I'm working on a client's course project right now, and it's been high level stress. And she said, oh my God, this was like the biggest project I've worked on in my life. I said, well, congratulations. Is this your book? And she said, no, I work for Alex and Layla Hormozy, and they just had, I'm not sure if you know who they are. They just had a book launch. I said,
not sure if we know who they are.
Not sure who they are.
For sure.
Ma'am, look at my computer. I'm breaking down their whole business model right now. I love Alex and Layla Hormozy as a couple and as business owners, as business partners, at least from what I can see. I said, oh my God, this is so cool. She's like, so I'm telling her, I was like, what he just did with this launch? Insane. She's like, yeah, that was kind of me. I was a part of that. And what do you mean?
Wow.
What exactly was your position?
Headphones away.
Oh, we took them off. And so she told me what her role was, and I'm not going to call it out because she's very behind the scenes and she doesn't want the attention. She tells me, I think I sent you the picture from the plane. Yep. She tells me what her role was. And she's responsible for some very heavy components of the launch, a lot of the strategy behind it. And I said, wow, congratulations. I told her, she's like, what do? You said you're working on a client's course. And I said, I'm a business development coach. I help entrepreneurs start, scale, and grow their businesses. And she's like, well, I'd love to share some insight with you. Just let me take advantage of the Wi-Fi, because on the way here, I didn't have Wi-Fi. I'm like, me either. She's like, well, if I don't have Wi-Fi in air, we can talk, right? We get in air. I'm praying that the Wi-Fi is off. Please, no Wi-Fi.
That's so interesting.
We get in air. There's no Wi-Fi. But I'm still working offline. I'm like taking notes because I'm not going to ask her, right? I'm trying to imagine how I would feel or, whatever. I'm not going to ask her to break down the whole launch strategy to me. No. So we get off air and she taps me and she's like, hey, I see you're working, but we don't have Wi-Fi. If you want to talk about anything, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anything. We talked the whole time, and she initiated conversation after conversation. She gave me all these resources and things, and like putting me onto a lot of stuff. I was privy to things that were happening on the back end, because for his high ticket offer that he sold next month, he will be giving people a breakdown of his launch, right? So not only will I have access to that, I got access to what was happening behind the scenes, the thought process. I now know that he launched this from conception to execution in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Right? I know things that have happened. And so when I see people hating, saying all he sold was books, or he made people buy 200 books, not understanding the psychology behind it, why he made these decisions, I'm not mad about the playbooks. Yeah. I now see what's possible in a grander way. Remember the moment when we realize our first friend made $1 million in a day from a challenge or an event, we weren't sitting there hating.
Yeah.
We're like, we got to do it.
Same energy to say, I can't believe as it takes to, how did they do that? That's my approach, right? And I think that should be the approach. Like we can either throw stones or we can say, I wonder how they did that.
I wonder how they did it. How did they do it?
Even if you could take one thing from it, like going back to like the InvestFest thing, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't, you never once in your mind said, man, how did they get 25,000 people in one building and I can't get 10 people on my webinar? There's something that needs to be studied here.
And here's the thing. Sometimes you, as entrepreneurs, you're not studying InvestFest or Alex Hormozy or Dan Henry. You're not studying them because their result was so big, you can't see yourself with it. And the truth of the matter is, we may not see another $105 million in a single day launch for a very long time. But the reason it's important for you to study this, to break it down and be inspired by it, is because if you can learn one thing, that 2 extra results, would it be worth it? If you can pay attention to the process long enough to make an extra $100,000 or an extra $1 million, or to have the inspiration to actually start, would it be worth it for you? So when I see people doing things at a level that I have never achieved before, I am inspired. I work with brands. I work with companies that are way far more successful than me, and they still see the value in what I bring to the table. There's still some gaps. You saw in my playbooks, I got companies that have generated 9 figures in their business model that still say, hey, I need you to come in here and support this particular area. I'm not walking away because I'm intimidated by the opportunity because of what they've done. I'm coming in as me and saying, not only am I going to deliver, I'm going to learn in the process. I have no room for hating on anybody.
Bro, I have so much productivity to do today. I think we've done enough.
Dang.
Now we start thinking about it, like where we're putting our time and our energy. It's like, yo, and as you start talking, I'm like, oh my gosh. There's so many things I need to be doing right now.
So that means we're not going to lunch?
We gave them the value. It's let me
Does that mean we're not going to lunch?
Let's jump off and look at it real quick. Family, we absolutely love everything about y'all. We thank you for supporting the Social Proof Podcast as much as you have. I hope that you do not just take on empty calories. Let's just not, just for today and maybe tomorrow. Let's just only use our energy for good. So I play like spades on my phone sometimes, but it's not wasted for me. Sometimes, like me and Jay was just talking, you need a break. You need a break from like the monotony of what's happening, but that's something I would count as a benefit, right? But I'm calculating everything that I do. Sometimes like going out to the club. So I'm just not a clubber. I don't be in a club. So for InvestFest, I went that Thursday, I think. I want to say Thursday. And I don't know what to do in the club. I don't really know what to do with my hands. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a drink. But then you start drinking mad water, then I use the bathroom. So I don't know what to do.
How do you stand in the club?
I'd be like, I don't want to cross my arms. But
you overthink it like a mug.
I just be sitting there. Now, the good news is with InvestFest, it's always somebody saying, yo, what's up? And they're in my ear, mad loud, and like touching me and stuff.
You smell the alcohol on their breath?
Yeah, it's just cool. Well, it'd be in my ear. Now, sometimes.
It'd be warm, don't it?
And then it get wet sometimes. Like, that's what, it's on my neck,
yeah.
My ear. So, I was busy the whole time, so it was cool. And I counted that value because I got a chance to, meet some people that maybe they seen me and I didn't see them. That was cool. But I don't go to the club because it's wasted. I'm sitting there, I don't know what to do. And there's something else I could be doing, right? So let's just start to calculate the things that you're doing. Is it giving you value in any way? Now, some people might want to go to the club because it takes their mind off. I just want to sit there and dance. Cool. That's good for you. It's just not good for me. And you all have to stop making what's good for you good. I got to read this last thing, bro. I got this DM this morning, and it was so, I just couldn't understand. I understand it, but I couldn't really understand what my man was trying to say. So I made this post. about, I gotta find this guy. Oh, this was, because I'm actually gonna make a video about it because it was just so far off. Okay. Remember that post I made yesterday about Amex, American Express?
With the points.
Yeah. So if you like try to cash out your points or use your points, you're going to lose like 40% of them joints, right? So my man Doug Washington came on the podcast and he shared with me that I can get the Charles Schwab American Express card. With that card, I can transfer my points and it's a much higher conversion rate. So I want to say it was $110 for each 1,000 points or 10,000 points, something like that, whatever. It came out to, I cashed out $1 million points for $11,000. And then it goes down after your first million, whatever. I made that post. And this guy says, man, I can show you how to travel first class around the world twice with them points, far greater value than $5,000. I said, where'd you get $5,000 from? He said, oh, typo, 50,000. Still can move around multiple trips. That'll be $50K if paid out of pocket for travel and stay. But if paid with points, pennies on a dollar. So essentially, I made this post, listen, y'all, if y'all disagree with something that I post, just say it. It's cool. I'm not like attacking you. This is just an example. But my question was, why would I want to travel around the world twice instead of invest the money into my stock account? I don't understand. The amount of rebuttals he has about why
what is this
I should use my 5 million points that I worked really, really hard for, why I should not put it in a stock account that I will invest and make money off of, he's trying to convince me I should travel around the world twice. I don't want to do that.
That's not your thing.
Did you see how much
I saw? Like long.
You see the wasted calories?
To the wasted calories because I guarantee you didn't even read it.
I didn't even read it.
Didn't even read it.
He's trying to convince me how much I need to travel. And I don't want to. There's so many. He could have been DMing somebody else that might be a client or something. It's just wasted calories.
It's wasted.
God.
And so ask yourself right now, are you spending time with empty calories?
Yes.
Or are you focused on and being intentional about consuming calories that nourish you, that fill you up, that get you closer to your end result? Because you can keep playing around with those empty calories all you want, and you can pick up the extra pounds and feel the heaviness and the weight on your shoulders, or you can be intentional about choosing the calories that you consume wisely that are only there to fill you up. As usual, drop it in the comments. What stood out for you in this episode today? What was the takeaway? Are you the hater? Are you the hater?
That's up for you to decide.
That's a valid question. And sometimes we got to check ourselves. I told them at one point I was the hater. There's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it is if you recognize that you're the hater and you remain the hater. Yeah. It's just going to block you.
And listen, y'all, freedom of speech, all the comments. If I post something you don't like the thing I post, comment. Cool. I'm just saying, don't get so emotionally invested in trying to like tear someone down that it causes you not to build yourself up. Period. So
jumping in business that isn't even yours.
It's not even
yours. This will add no value to you at the end of the day. The outcome will not matter. It will not improve your life, nor will it make it any worse.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comments. What stood out for you today? We wanted to touch on this episode because so many people, like I once was in 2020, can't deal with the hate or don't know what to do when the hate train turns on you. Because if you decide to do something great, it's not if, it's when. It'll happen to you too. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Social Proof. I am Donnie.
I'm David.
Bye.
Peace.